Hello and welcome to this episode of Behind the Curtain. I am your host, Gio Battaglia, outside of the News 8 studios and here at Avon Village Circle Park. Today we are talking to someone not famous for movies, TV, or music, but famous for running. Noah Coughlan is a marathoner who is making headlines for his 5,500-mile, 269-day run across America to honor veterans. We've been following him throughout the Finger Lakes this past week. He is stopping in Avon in the next few minutes, and we are excited to talk with him. And everyone here in the village is excited. The fire trucks, the police departments, you might be able to see it behind me. They are all set up and ready to go and ready to welcome him. Nearly 3 months into his journey, runner and advocate Noah Coughlan is pushing through Western New York, literally, with a jogging stroller full of supplies and an 8-foot pole carrying an American flag. He says what started as a safety precaution has turned into something people across the country connect with.
I'm almost 3 months into a 5th run across America, going through upstate New York, finishing the final 50 states. I have 42 states down, 8 states to go. And this is a general tribute to the American people, I'm calling it. It's called Run for America, and really has been a busy week here in New York.
People have just welcomed you with open arms as you completed this. How does it just motivate you to keep you going?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's been nothing like I've ever seen before. Just town after town, and public safety police have given me escorts. But you saw what happened today, and it was just pretty special. And kids and grandparents and everything. Meeting mayors, meeting sheriffs, and I just you can't grow up thinking that you're going to be in this scenario. And I'm doing the best I can, going town to town. And like I said, it's just going across America. With a simple message. That's the simplicity of my message, is that we have a lot more in common than we do apart. I am solo, I'm by myself, I'm on foot, I'm pushing a jogging stroller full of supplies, and there's an 8-foot pole and an American flag. And I put the American flag on for safety initially, not to make a political statement, not for any other reason. I don't want to get hit by a car. And now it's what I do on all my solo runs across America. And now I think you can see it's become something bigger than all of us, right? It's something that every American can relate to, because in the reality, the flag does belong to all of us, right? That's what it is. It's our national emblem. So I say all that because this run is charging towards July 4th, America's 250th birthday. So to not only end 50 states, it's ending on America's 250. So I'm asking Americans one simple question: what does the American flag mean to you? And also meeting World War II vets and just trying to honor everyday Americans going through town.
And tomorrow we have a winter storm advisory in effect. How do weather events like that impact your running?
As long as there's not ice, I'll run right through it. So I have plenty of cold weather gear, and as long as it's safe, then I'll do it. So. And
you said, it's not about you, it's about the veterans, but how does it feel to be this vehicle spreading the message?
Let me rephrase that. So the veterans are just one part of America, right? I want to honor veterans, police officers, firefighters, librarians, social workers, everybody. So that's why it's just a tribute in general to the Americans. I'm not a veteran, just for the record.
Sure.
I'm not a veteran, I'm not an elected official, I'm not a police officer. I'm just a guy who runs. This is all coming at me fast. I think just in New York here in the last week, it's just really been spread. I'll tell you what, if it brings some encouragement and some hope to people of all ages, if what I'm saying is being received well, then I'm just going to keep doing it. It is a message of unity, right? And I'm doing the best I can. This is what I'm physically capable of, is just going one more time across America. And that is my intention, is to just bring America together, one step at a time.
Remind me where you're based out of.
Nashville, Tennessee, originally from Vacaville, California. Before this run started, I had 36 states complete. So I actually had to do Kansas independently, started October 18th. Okay. And then I did North and South Carolina. The reason why I never did those, it never was on my previous routes, and this is all on the website. So 37, 38, 39. The coast-to-coast part started, this is all in a row, all sequential. 37, 38, 39, then it started in Maine, right? Got my gear up to Maine. So it goes Maine to Oregon, and then lower 48 will be complete in May, and then I do 1,000 miles Alaska, ends in Hawaii on July 4th. And from coast to coast, you get to see that the outpouring of support for the flag. I think actually it's less about me. When you see the flag in motion, I think that's what the drivers are honking at, because they don't know the story, and that's okay. But you know, they see the flag moving, and there's something about the flag that awakens us, right? There's something that makes us stand a little bit taller. You know, something that brings us together. So that's it. That's my.
This is your sixth time?
Fifth.
Fifth, okay.
There has been a sixth run because if you count Ireland, I ran across Ireland in 2020, but that's not, of course, United States. But so it is the fifth
time.
Yep, I can count them all in one hand. Getting older, I'm 41, so wanted to do. I'll be 42 in a few hours.
42.
Just wanted to do something special. You know, I didn't start out thinking I was going to go, make a huge impact on communities in America. Very humble beginnings. I wanted to help two girls from my church who had a rare brain disease called Batten disease. So did that run, San Diego to Jacksonville. It was tough, and then it finished. 2 years went by. Didn't even think about going across America. Looked at the route. There was more families, same disease. So it was you pair a social cause with an extreme, unbelievably insane, effort from ocean to ocean. And so did that, and then it grew bigger into a third run. Called it Run for Rare. Then you run it for 35 million Americans who are with rare diseases. And that is unfortunately, disease unifies us too, because I learned a lot from parents from all walks of life with their kids are still trying to solve the same disease. So called it Run for Rare. 8 years went by between running across America, 2025 to 2023. I came back to the American road in 2023 for a run called Run for Revival for veterans. Me not being a veteran, it was just to go town to town, meet with VFWs, American Legions, and the urgency of it was the World War II veterans. So I interviewed about 8 World War II vets, and sadly they have passed, the ones that I had interviewed. Just to, like I said, sometimes it's life experience. I don't make any money off of this. I'm not trying to do any, to prove a point or anything. I think I just enjoy the adventure, and along the way I've met congressmen, I've met people, so I've just become used to going town to town and speaking about each other, just trying to do something positive. So I just set the stage for this last run. I'm learning as I'm going. As I've never been to some of these states, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, part of upstate New York, so I'm seeing everything for the first time. But the one thing I'm finding in common is that it reminds me of places I've been, right? Either my hometown or other states, with, hey, there's the Rotary Club, hey, there's the mayor, hey, and it just reminds us that just because, that we actually have, like I said, there's more in common than we do apart. People, you can see it today. There's something about, I think seeing somebody go that far on foot and not giving up is inspiring. I think when you add an American flag on there, it's really inspiring for them too. And if you see police cars surrounding them, it's over the top, right? I think that would be one way to look at it.
And coming up after the break, we are back into the world of TV, looking at ID's latest series, The Curious Case of. One legal analyst explains how a doctor's prescription costs the lives of his patients. We'll be right back.
It's a Hannibal Lecter mask, and she's one of our victims here. We're going to see how she handles it.
Ooh, hypnotized, you're gonna go do this.
So this is my ornamental camel.
We'll take him down to the old frog pond.
Let me tell you a story.
There's sinister people in this world.
Here's the text that started it all.
One morning I wake up to guns at my front door.
I would not piss on her if she was on fire.
Robert Young said he could cure her cancer.
Everything was green.
Had it been blood, it would have looked like a murder scene.
I am a victim of a system that is corrupt.
The more that I would try to force my muscles to sit still, the worse it would be.
She's dangerous.
Whether it was poison or not, I don't know, but she did eat cheesecake.
There was an old lady that was digging up bodies.
I don't know whether to laugh, cry, myself, or what to do.
He looked like he was like demonic.
Yes, the optics are bad.
There's an old African proverb that I find very interesting. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
People aren't going to believe this.
Tonight, a wellness promise collides with medical reality. A self-styled health guru, a ranch in San Diego County, and patients desperate for hope. This is the curious case of Robert Young and the line he crossed. On television and in best-selling books, the alkaline diet and green juices sounded harmless, even healthy. But behind the lab coat, critics say Robert Young wasn't a doctor and played one for vulnerable patients.
Now, Robert Young had a PhD from a correspondence course, so he was not a medical doctor. He did not have medical training, and what landed him in trouble was practicing medicine without a license. But this guy had a good thing going initially. He had some very successful books about his alkaline diet, the pH miracle diet. He had supplements. He was doing well selling his green juice recipes, right? Drink your avocado, drink your fruits and vegetables. That's good advice. That's good advice for anyone. But it didn't stop there. He started taking it a little further. He got a little greedy, and he started practicing medicine without a license, treating people with cancer with his juices instead of traditional treatments. He claims that he cured some, but there are people who died and got worse under his care.
Legal analyst Beth Karas explains Young's followers were often terminal patients, people searching for hope outside traditional medicine. They paid thousands of dollars and even moved onto his ranch in North County, San Diego.
Now, these are people who were going to him, some of them because they didn't want to do traditional treatment and it was terminal and they just want to prolong their lives and maybe even get cured, and they believed him. So he took advantage of very vulnerable people and charged a very lot of money. They lived on this ranch in North County in San Diego County, and according to some of the people who worked there, it was not always the cleanest place.
Beth explains while preaching strict alkaline living, Young didn't always follow his own rules.
He says he drank his juices, but he also ate foods that he told people not, junk foods that he told people not to consume. So, practice what you preach, buddy.
And as patients grew sicker, Young allegedly shuffled them to different hospitals to avoid suspicion. One woman died on his property, as Beth explains.
And he would have some of his workers dump bodies. I mean, they're still alive, but to different hospitals, because he didn't want a pattern of these really sick people showing up at the same hospital over and over. There was a person who died, though, there. And I've read the death documents, the autopsy said she died by overhydration and something else, but overhydration, too much of the IV. Her body couldn't process it. He just kept pumping her with liquids.
Investigators also looked at baking soda IVs and how fluid monitoring can mean the difference between therapy and harm.
Medical doctors have said it's not really that, it's not going to hurt you, like baking soda IVs don't hurt you, it's like a saline IV, but you got to monitor how much you're doing it. I mean, these people were not dehydrated. She got overhydrated, and that was one of the causes of her death.
Young's clean-cut image, as Beth explains, in white lab coat helps sell trust, but documents show disclaimers and departing physicians.
He did wear the white lab coat, although when people came and signed in, he did have a paragraph on this document that they signed saying that he was not a medical doctor. He did have a medical doctor overseeing. One was on staff and present for only like 6 months, and he left because Young wasn't following the medical doctor's advice. Young was overriding the medical doctor. He quit. Another one was under contract from Florida to San Diego. So when that person died on the grounds of his little ranch there, he panicked, and he needed that doctor to come and be present in San Diego, because otherwise he was going to have to turn the body over to the coroner for an autopsy, and he needed the doctor to waive the autopsy. Didn't happen. Autopsy happened, and that's where the overhydration Republican opinion came in.
And despite the deaths, Young still had supporters who credit his diet for weight loss or feeling healthier.
He definitely still has his supporters. I don't know if any of them have been cured of cancer. He claims he's cured a few people of cancer. Yeah, he claims he has. And and he has people who are just healthier because of that. Who wouldn't be healthier if you're having a lot of fruits and juices, right? Yeah, everything in moderation, but it is a good thing to have fresh vegetables and fresh fruits. So I can understand that some people may swear that by him that he made them feel healthier, lose weight, or whatever their objective was. But not everybody going to him had a terminal illness.
So why do charismatic figures like Young cross the line? Experts say greed often plays a role.
In publishing his books was legal. However, he was doing some unlawful things, or at least immoral things on the books, because he had blurbs, testimonials on the book jacket. Doctors their testimonials were about the diet. They didn't know who he was. They're able to deceive easily because they're charming. Right. And so, he was making so much money, he got greedy. He was like, well, these people are getting better. I can cure. But he made people believe, and he did help people, right? He did make people feel better. So he started to believe himself that he has the cure for cancer. He told me he has the cure for cancer.
In the end, the case isn't about juice, it's about licenses, oversight, and the truth patients deserve. For cancer care, seek evidence-based treatment from licensed professionals, Beth explains. From the creator of Peaky Blinders comes a gritty new Hulu series set in 1880s London. It's called 1000 Blows, and BAFTA-winning actor Malachi Kirby takes us inside the world of bare-knuckle fighting, survival, and inner strength. The drama unfolds in working-class London, where immigrants, women, and locals fight for a better life, sometimes literally. Kirby plays a man whose journey begins far from England.
So Hezekiah, he grows up in Jamaica. And he has, I would say, a Christian father, but he has two cultures going on. So he has his Jamaican background, but also his Chinese background. So his mother is half Chinese, his grandmother is full Chinese Hakka. And so he has two different kinds of spirituality happening. And then he comes into London, and he has to kind of hold on to something at the core of him, that kind of keeps him grounded in who he is and who he needs to be. In a very, very different space, against adversity, against challenges, against things that would definitely try to take him out of character. But his spirituality is very important to him.
The series dives deep into identity and resilience set against a backdrop of bare-knuckle fighting, pickpockets, and girl gangs.
1000 Blows is set in 1880s London, working-class London, and we take a look at the lives of a vast group of different people who are trying to build a better life for themselves, trying to rise out of the circumstances they were born into. And we look at that through the lens of women, we look at that through the lens of the local people, we look at that through the lens of the immigrants in the setting of bare knuckle fighting. And pickpockets and thieves and all-female girl gangs, and yeah, there's quite a lot going on.
For Kirby, the role was a dream come true, but it came with challenges.
I read this script knowing that it was everything that I'd asked for, right? I'd spoken to my agent about 6 months prior, and I said to him that I really wanted to play a boxer. I really wanted to play a person that really existed. I wanted to do a period piece, and I wanted to do this filming all in London. I didn't know it was going to come all packaged in one project, right? And so this thing came up, and I felt like I was so prepared for it, but I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. Like, there was a lot of work to do. I'd never boxed in my life. I'd never even seen a boxing fight. So there was a lot of preparation in that regard. And I knew Jamaicans because I am Jamaican. It's my heritage. But it's a whole nother thing, understanding them in that period of time and understanding their rhythms and cultures and dialect and how they spoke. The language was different then. The things that they were fighting against were different then. And we look at the Maroons story. And I don't know if you know much about them, but yeah, the Maroons have an interesting place in history and what they were fighting against and how they overcame. And so there was a lot of research to do. And yeah, honestly, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the whole process, man. Physically and emotionally, and just getting into the historical parts of it. It was really a lot of fun.
Kirby says the role opened his eyes to untold stories of ambition and freedom.
You know, I wish I learned these things in school, honestly. Like, if I knew about a man, like, I had no idea you could get someone who, from Jamaica, wants to come to London to become a lion tamer in the 1800s. You couldn't take planes then, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a long journey to take. Most of the stuff that I'd heard about people that look like Hezekiah were about slaves, do you know what I mean? And this is the man who is free, who is dreaming, who travels across the world to chase his dream. I didn't hear about people like that, so I wish they taught them in school.
And what does Kirby hope audiences take away from 1,000 Blows?
It would just be that, you know, whatever it is that knocks you down, like, just finding the strength to get back up, you know? Realizing it's possible, realizing it's important to overcome the things that come against you. Like, they're not there to hold you back, they're there to kind of bring about that inner spirit to rise up. Yeah.
1,000 Blows is streaming now on Hulu. For Kirby, it's more than a fight story. It's a lesson in resilience and identity.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand. Plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.